Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is another of the Arty Day Competition runner-ups. The replay here is an M40 M43 on the south spawn of Ghost Town, and it's under the command of Andromeda. And, well, battle's about to start. Okay, well, we're off. And that beautiful skin supplied by Jazzy. I'm sure that's one of Jazzy's. She's a beautiful one, isn't it? It actually is a copy of a real M40, M43. In fact, this is an M43. It's got the 8-inch howitzer. And yes, there is one out there that actually says Big Shot on it. And it looks beautiful, doesn't it? With our logo on the side as well. Superb. Well, 8-inch howitzer, 1050 alpha, 52 millimeters of penetration, and Andromeda's setting up to shoot at the enemy. He's found one to shoot at straight away. Just dialing in, rouse out, and oh, direct hit! And the Lorraine 40 ton has very little armor, so that definitely hurt him. 425 hit points of damage there. It's a good shot. It's not a penetrating shot, though, funnily enough. But it does have very light armor, the Lorraines. Okay, IS-3 and a 112. Still got another 10 seconds before we're loaded. 40.49 seconds is the reload time because we're not using Coca-Cola. It does help, it really does. Rounds out on the AMX 5100. Oh, big hit! 489 this time. Again, another French tank with very light armor. Really doesn't help them when they get hit. And if they get hit repeatedly by Arty, they won't be in the game for very long. Well, as I said earlier, this is an Arty Day entrant. It wasn't a winner, but it was one of the runner-ups. And this is an all tier 8 battle, so unfortunately he's not going to maximize his XP on this one, because if you hit higher tier tanks you will benefit from hitting the higher ones. But oh, he almost could shoot that LT432. Going for the SU-130 PM, lighter armor on that one, and oh, it overshot! And he almost hit a Progetto in doing so. If he'd hit the SU-130 PM, I'm sure that would have been a big damage. Again, that's a very lightly armed or armoured Soviet tank destroyer. Go for the Progetto 46 instead. Again, that's another tank with very light armour. A lot of these tanks have very light armour because they to increase their mobility, but it did actually count against them whenever they get hit. Well, we've lost sight of them, and Andromeda decided to hold fire, and a good job he did, because that SU-130 PM actually did move. And now he's taken another hit. 353. He's down to, oh, he's only got 35% of his health left now. So he's almost a one-shot for Andromeda now. The LT432, well, he's still got about half his health. We lost sight of them. Andromeda marks the ground. It's important to let your teammates know what you're looking at. We really need them to spot for us. We're doing well in the town because most of the enemy tanks have been pushed right to the very back. But it's these ones on the west flank which are being a bit of a nuisance. And there's the LT432. We're lining up on the Progetto. And we fired even though we weren't fully dialed in. And unfortunately it falls short. That's one of the consequences. If you fire when you're not fully dialed in, the shell will land somewhere within the rescue. So if the rescue's big, it will fall probably outside the point you actually aimed at. Okay, Anudes, right at the north end of the map, hiding behind that rock cover. He's camping, and Arty prevents camping. We're almost loaded. Now, the unfortunate thing is all our tanks in the town have been wiped out. And it's just left a VK101P in there. We're 2 tanks down on the enemy. Oh, sorry. No, only... No, we're actually even with the enemy again. Apparently the Striv just killed their SU-130PM on the west side of the map. There's Udes. He didn't move. Oh, but we did. And that's got a big rescue bloom there. We're right at the edge of our field of fire. We're dialing in. Rounds out. This should be big. It is. 472. And he's died immediately afterwards. And he was killed by our Udes. Or was he? No, he was killed by our GW. What am I saying? Okay, Lorraine in the town. Unfortunately, he just killed our Panther 88. He's pulling back. We're not loaded, so we're not going to be able to do anything before he disappears. And he's gone. Okay, well, we've got a T-32 over to the west side. He's using those wrecks for cover, moving up on our tank destroyers up on the hill. And we're dialing in on him. Almost ready to go. Runs out. Oh, he stopped. He stopped at just the right moment to avoid the shell. He's probably counting his lucky stars at this moment that he did, because he avoided that shell. Well, we've got 9 left. The M43 doesn't carry a huge number of 8-inch shells, but they are rather big, those things. Leading the target just a little. Oh, we're at the edge of the field of fire now, and that means we're getting rescue blooms every time the vehicle's having to move to adjust. Okay, and yep, there's the rescue bloom again. We fire at the T-32s. Oh, it falls well outside. We've marked the ground nearby, but it's going to be some while before we're loaded. And that was the GW Tiger P collecting another kill. He's got 3 of them so far. Surprisingly, Andromeda doesn't have any kills, but he does have nearly 2k of damage. 1,700. And that's not counting all the blind shots, which probably bumped that figure up quite a lot. But we do outnumber the enemy now. And oh, the Lorraine 40 tons found us. He's shooting us in the ass, and we've just been killed. But that means the Lorraine is down, and that also means that our 2 tank destroyers and 1 Arty are going to outnumber the enemy Arty, and this game should be a victory. Both tank destroyers are going off hunting. The SU-130PM is already at the other end of the map, and so he's going to be hunting along the edge, trying to find the Arty, whilst the GW Tiger P sets up for a pre-aim shot ahead of the SU-130PM's path. Striv making his way along the edge of the city, being careful. I'm pretty sure that any second now the SU-130PM's going to spot somebody when he gets to the top of the hill. And he didn't find anyone, so they must have moved. And that tends to indicate that they're on the eastern side of the map. Yes, they are. There's the GW Tiger P. And he's killed straight away by the SU-130PM. And that means there's only 1 enemy remaining. It is the M40, M43. So they've just got to find him. And it's game over. And there he is. He's right at the back of the map, in the corner. And he's been killed, and that's it. It's all over. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it was the 3rd class tanker for Andromeda in the M40, M43. He also managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 6 in this one. And his win rate for that game was 1,753, which is very good. So let's have a look at the team scores. Well, 3rd highest damage on his team, but it wasn't the third highest damage overall because there were 4 members of the enemy team who scored higher than him, so that makes him 7th overall. When it came to kills, he didn't get any at all. Puts him well down the table there, I'm afraid. The high scorer was the Shriv S1. He picked up a high caliber, and the SE130PM picked up a Piscucci's for killing both of the enemy Arty at the end of the game. And when it came to base XP, well, 693, and I'm afraid that wasn't enough to win the Tier 8 competition. But it was certainly good enough for an entry on the runners-up. Let's have a look at details. 8 shots fired, 3 direct hits, 7 splash, damage of 1,841. So he did do at least 100 splash more than indicated on his screen during the game, because he, at the end, towards the end, it only had 1.7, and he actually got 1.8. And he received 2 hits, both penetrations from the M40 ton. Damage 5 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, but he did get damage assistance of 365 hit points and stun assistance of 644 hit points off 7 stuns. On a premium account, he earned 7,847 credits, and on the XP side, he earned 2,079. But the 693 is the figure that counts in the Arty Day competition, and consequently, it wasn't a win. So, thanks very much for watching this replay.